So it seems it is that time. It seems that wind is finally getting the elevation that we have so desperately been wanting for a long time now. Obviously excluding the Arise Festival, as it is pushing more towards light, although it'll be a beautiful surprise if they choose to go for wind, because obviously everything is on route to buff up wind. We are going to be getting some new wind DPS damage, and with how new characters come about, especially with every single DPS new character so far has been absolutely broken, I'm expecting some craziness with Amamiya, especially once we get into that ultimate transformation. So wind DPS is about to be top notch. From that, Hanamiya, of course, very well is looking like a potential wind support. So it'll be curious to see on what more she'll be doing for the wind typing, of course. And then in terms of the breakage, as we have just seen, obviously with the hunter buffs that we're getting, W update in terms of the in terms of the buffs that we're getting, but Jincho is the one that realistically stood out for me personally, as they've buffed him up to a great amount to actually now make him the forefront of being a wind breaker. Now again, you know, with the Arise Festival, with Go, you know, it's fair to say that we're all kind of leaning towards light, but look, the developers are known and have in the past literally made changes on a character even after a live stream, right? Even after a developer's live stream where they talk about a character, showcase their kits and whatnot, and then when the character releases, hold on a minute, they practically changed the character's kit within the span of a few hours, right, from release. And I say this is because that's what they did with SUYOOSOON. With what was shown within the live stream to what she was officially released out, of course, her kit wise, they altered it within that time period. So that being said, that's why I'm just going to throw that in there. You know, we're getting our DPS, we're getting our healing. If they want to up the breakage, they can do so if they want to put Go as wind. That'll be a huge lineup. But again, I'm just throwing that out there just for the sake of throwing it out there. But again, this is a huge, but this is like a big change that is heavily needed with where wind is going right now in terms of the full package, as I always like to say, of course. So right now, the best full package is water, of course, so that's kind of how that's looking. I mean, light also has their full package, although our breakage is fine, of course, right? Fire is still needing that support, but kind of double DPS, of course. But in terms of wind, it will be Jin right there, and then of course in terms of the DPS, Amamiya, and then that final slot has to be Hanamiya, of course, and that will be in September, and then that will lead into a fully complete wind team. I mean, it's going to take time to build up, of course, and getting the characters and whatnot, but again, I've been very I've been neglecting the man of the hour now. That's going to be helping us out, and again, it's come back to bite me. What can I say? You know, I've always meant to kind of do him up a little bit, but it is what it is. Obviously, the artifacts are going to keep the greed on him. Now, this is something which I do want to quickly briefly talk about, because I was going to kind of jump the gun and make a video talking about the gear build on Amamiya, but I'll probably do that after we get the global live stream, because on the global live stream, we'll actually get her kit information and we can kind of dissect even further more on what we want to kind of build around. Now, I'm just going to say this right now. Amamiya will probably be I'm going to say it right now, crit. I'm going to catering to crit, because of course when it comes to the Cerberus is catering to the critical hit damage. At times they do like to correlate with what the team buff is for the new Shadow with the newest character, of course, although some people were speculating to say that defense penetration was going to be the main team buff for the Cerberus, but clearly that's not the case. I mean, they can save that for another time. I was really hoping for crit hit damage, because that is one of the ones that I was desperately asking for. So yeah, that's it again, another little hint on why it could be. So as of right now, obviously the curse set is kind of the set that people can, if you choose to, grind up now, because the curse set is the highest level set in, well, not the highest level, sorry, the Workshop of Brilliant Light sets are the highest power level sets in the game. So technically speaking, if you want to get ahead and start running a gear sets, you can. The curse set is still accessible and viable as of right now. It's universal. You can get the work in right now and apply that. Thankfully, I've got a set already that I can apply onto her, so I'm kind of ahead of the game. Of course, it is catering to attack, crit rate, and crit damage. That's the build that I'm going with. And then of course with the additional sets, if you can get defense pen and damage increase and whatnot, that's fine. MP reduction, you guys know the drill. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning all of this and why I'm saying you can pre-farm it right now is because there is, this next, the maintenance that we got coming up, mother of God, it is jam-packed. Yeah, I think this is like the first time I've ever seen an update be this stacked. Holy. But yeah, a lot of content that is ending. Oh, also, yeah, look at this reward details, 300 essence, 2 million gold. God damn. Now, I'm gonna be honest, you know, 2 million, it's a lot. But here's the thing, we're getting new artifacts, new characters. You know, as much as 2 million does sound like a lot, it actually isn't compared to with what is needed and the amount. Because here's the thing, if you pull, okay, let's say you get a new character, right? Let's say you pull Amamiya or whatnot, right? To get it to level 80, that's going to cost you 900k. 900k. Unless they've updated it and changed it, I'm not aware. I can't remember the last time I leveled up a character to acknowledge the cost. But last time I can remember, it cost me around about 8 to 900k. So I would have said maybe 5 million gold would have been pretty nice. Yeah, 2 million gold, we're going to spank that so quick. So, yo, Dev, if you're listening, can we get an extra 3 million? I'm just saying 2 million is not enough. I'm just putting it out there. But anyway, yeah, coming back to the artifact set, of course. So obviously with this upcoming update, new dungeons, which means 70 to 75 artifacts are going to be a thing. I'm curious to see what the new artifacts are too. That could potentially change things in terms of what sets that we could potentially run for Amamiya, of course. But when it comes to running the other sets being 70 to 75 or even 55 if you are still want to utilize those sets, which is completely fine. Toughness set, because if you want to cater to the crit build, which I am completely am, and then with that it will be either the champion of field, expert, I mean also burning curse, just to get that extra bit of stats, of course. So that's kind of how it's looking. I'd actually put the expert first, then actually no, burning curse then executioner. Yeah, that's kind of how I'll be doing things. But in terms of 70 to 75, that's kind of what I'm catering to on what I'm going to be shooting for. So the burning curse for me is going to be just temporary, and then I'm going to cater to yeah, the high level sets of what we've got right now. So that's, again, I'm just going off from what I'm speculating for her to be. Well, I'll further go in depth more once we know what her kit is actually doing. But I'm just gonna shoot my shot and say it's probably going to be a crit.